Hey there, this is World of Tea, and I'm John. It's another beautiful sunny day in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm very excited today because I got a cool video for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about Rooibos tea. So if you don't know, Rooibos means red bush in Afrikaans, and this is a tea that is local to South Africa, more specifically Cedarburg, South Africa. Now, this is a PDO product, actually, or product of designated origin, similar to tequila or champagne, where you cannot sell Rooibos tea under the name Rooibos tea if it is not cultivated in Cedarburg, South Africa. So that's a cool little thing I learned. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Erden2242 for recommending me this tea. If you guys have any exotic teas that you would like me to check out, please let me know in the comments down below. I read every comment, and it's really interesting to me when people expose me to new infusions and new teas that I've never heard about. So with that, let's get into a little bit of a history about Rooibos. Rooibos tea had been consumed by the Khoisan tribe of South Africa for many, many years before the Europeans got involved. In 1772, European botanist Carl Thunberg observed the tribe going up into the mountains, coming back with these small needle-like leaves and processing it into a tea. Eventually, he began drinking the tea himself, and it caught on in Cedarburg, South Africa as a sort of local delicacy. Fast forward over 100 years later, Russian immigrant Benjamin Ginsburg gets involved. Now, he was connected with the tea industry, and he began marketing Rooibos tea as a mountain tea that's an alternative to oolong or jasmine tea. Now, you got to keep in mind, at this time, black teas and oolong tea and jasmine tea was prohibitively expensive because it all had to come from Asia. So he was able to turn this into a sort of cheap alternative to other teas. However, the supply was limited because it was all collected from the wild. Now, it wasn't until about 30 years later in the 1930s, Dr. Pierre Lafroze-Nortier, a medical doctor and botanist, who figured out that if you would grind the seeds up a little bit and place them in acidic, sandy soil, you could get them to grow. From then on, Rooibos tea spread all over the world, and that's where it is today. So now let's talk about the smell and the flavor and the things that make tea, right? So I'm going to pop the lid off here, and I'm going to give this a scent. And just instantly, you can really smell that fermentation. Rooibos tea goes through a bruising and fermentation process similar to oolong tea, and you can smell that oxidization. It smells very rosy, very earthy, but also very woody at the same time. It really is a unique flavor. If you've never tried Rooibos tea before, there's not anything quite like it in terms of flavor. So with that, let's get into the flavor. You're going to see that brown amber color. It's a really sweet looking color. It's just very appetizing looking at it. And when you sip it, you totally get swayed by that wonderful aromatic, earthy flavor. And it really does taste earthy. You can really taste that oxidization. And it's weird to say that because you wouldn't think that rust is a good flavor, but it balances out the tea so much. It's earthy, it's minerally, but it's very unique. It almost tastes a little bit like cinnamon in an alternate universe. I know that's not like the best way to describe a flavor, but this really stands alone. There's nothing else I've quite tasted that tastes exactly like it. Wonderful, wonderful flavor. So the price on this is actually not bad at all. So this tin I got, which makes about 30 servings, net weight of 2.5 ounces, was about $7 with free shipping on Amazon. A lot of teas, especially teas that are very popular in more wealthy countries, are extremely expensive. That is not Rooibos tea at all. This is a very affordable tea, dating all the way back to its roots. It is, to this day, a very affordable tea, which I have to hand it. In terms of effects, this tea is said to have a calming effect. Now, I'll be real with you, I haven't noticed much, and I haven't been able to find any research on the calming properties of it, but I've heard a lot of people drink it as an alternative to chamomile, or as an alternative to oolong or black tea, right, where there's no caffeine. I've also read that there's a strong antioxidant effect that's been documented, so if you're looking for a way to get antioxidants in, this might be a good way to go about it. Now, with that, let's get into the leaf texture a little bit. So you're going to see this has a very needly, very thin leaf texture, and it looks quite different from, say, black tea or jasmine tea in that you can really see those needles in there, and they look very waxy and very brown. Now, you can get Rooibos tea as a green tea that hasn't been through the fermentation process, but almost everything I saw out there, most people don't drink it like that, so that's just something to keep in mind. So, who would I recommend this tea to? I would recommend this tea to anybody that's looking for a nice bedtime tea. Maybe you've been drinking chamomile for too long and you're a little burnt out. Maybe you're looking to get some antioxidants in your day, or maybe you're just looking for something different to shake it up. This is honestly really hard to beat, just in terms of price, in terms of flavor, in terms of approachability, right? There's no caffeine, so you don't have to worry about being too sensitive to it. I really can't think of a single person that shouldn't try Rooibos tea. All right, so with that, I'd like to say a thank you to everybody, and I will reiterate, if anybody has any ideas for exotic teas for me to try, please let me know. I read every single comment, and I love learning more about new teas. I would have never found out about this tea if it wasn't for my wonderful viewers, and every single time somebody recommends me an exotic tea, it's a whole exploration for me. So you guys take care and keep sipping tea.